Hello guys, welcome to Captain Dorja's Armory. This is Captain Dorja. I haven't been very active lately, and I kind of talked a little bit, now, kind of at length actually, pretty recently about why that is. So I'm not going to go into it too much right here. But what I will say is that I have had more things I've wanted to share, but Wargaming updates World of Warships about every 3 weeks. And every time they do that, my replays are broken, and I can't use anything that I had. So I had like 5 battles I wanted to show, and I had a couple other battles that like demonstrated some tactics I wanted to talk about and stuff, and then like the game updated, replays are ruined, just really, really disappointing. So yeah, there's that. I've also been working a lot, and I've been working quite a lot of hours, and a lot of the time I get home and I'm pretty tired, and I go to bed like an hour after I get home. Then I get up pretty early the next day and go back to work. So it's been pretty limiting on my gaming time, and the little bit that I have, I've been really more focused on playing various games than I have been about recording stuff. So that's why that is. But right now, I definitely want to talk about an amazing match that I had in the Tier 6 USS Farragut. I've been playing ranked battles. The 5th season of ranked is going on the NA server right now. You can see right here, I'm only ranked 17. But on the NA server, up until rank 15, it's Tier 6. And when you get to rank 15, it's Tier 8. But I'm down in the low ranks, because, I had to start all the way at rank 23, because in the 4th season of Ranked, I didn't actually play any ranked battles at all. At the time, I was moving from Virginia to Maine, and I was spending pretty much all my time in a commercial driver's license program that was actually being run by my father. And as I was the only person in the program, and my father was running it, he was setting a pretty grueling pace, and we were doing something like 12 hours of training a day for like 8 weeks or some ridiculous thing like that, in addition to various other things to help him start a commercial driver's license school. So I was pretty busy, and I didn't get to play any ranked last season. But I have been playing this season, and I've been playing in Tier 6, and the Farragut is incredible. Now, I do have quite a few Tier 6s. As you can see, I've got the Warspite, which I've used quite a bit. I think it's a pretty good Tier 6 battleship. I've got the Farragut, which is the only destroyer at Tier 6, which you should use in Ranked. I've also got the Arizona, which is pretty solid, but I haven't actually played it. The Warspite's more fun. I've got the Cleveland and the Budiani, the Molotov and the Nuremberg for cruisers, but I've only played the Cleveland and the Budiani a few times. I haven't played the Molotov or the Nuremberg at all, and I've had pretty mixed success in the cruisers. Frankly, I'm not a very good cruiser player. I've also played the Bayern a few times. It's quite good, and it's a fun battleship as well. And I have the Dunkirk, which I haven't used in ranked a single time. But the Farragut, oh my god, the Farragut is incredible. So I want to talk about how I've got my Farragut set up with modules, equipment, captain skills, and flags. I want to talk a little bit about why it's so strong, and then we'll take this thing into battle. So first of all, captain skills. I only have 9 commander points, and I've only got 6 of them used right now. So for my points, I've got basic firing training to help with the rate of fire of the 5-inch gun. Rate of fire is its primary strength. Might as well boost it as much as I can, right? I've also got last stand, so that if my rudder or engines get knocked out, I'm not completely dead. I have superintendent, so I can have 3 smoke and 3 speed boosts without having to pay 44,500 credits for it. For my exterior modifications, all I have is the basic minus 3% to detectability camouflage, but I am running 3 signals. I'm running the dragon flag, because I plan to keep the Farragut pretty much forever. It's so good. I want to get my captain skills boosted up. I have a Sierra Mike to increase my speed by 5%, because the Farragut is a pretty fast destroyer, so let's boost that even more. And I've got the detonation flag Juliet Charlie to not blow up in one hit. Lastly, my modules, and I didn't even realize this until right now. I only have 2 modules fitted. I have the propulsion mod, which may seem kind of dumb since I have the last stand, but with Last Stand, you still don't maneuver very well and you still don't go very fast. So just lower chance of losing your engine, I still think it's worth it. And I have main battery mod 1. I'll probably will put propulsion mod 2 in here to get up to speed quicker, because that is really useful. And I'll probably put aiming systems 1 in here as well, but I haven't yet. I do have the ship fully upgraded, but I'm choosing to use the B hull instead of the C hull, because the C hull, you only have 4 guns on it, and I want the 5 guns of the Farragut. Now what makes this ship so good? Well, just about everything makes this ship so good. First of all, she's reasonably stealthy with a 7.3 kilometer detection range, which isn't amazing, but it does mean that you can stealth fire, although the long range use of these guns is debatable. But what it really means is that the only destroyer that should be able to out-detect you is the Mutsuki, and the Mutsuki is terrible. And if you encounter a Mutsuki under 7 kilometers, that's a very good day for you, because you pretty much get a free kill. So getting outspotted by Mutsuki is not a problem. Another strength of the ship is, like I said, she's pretty fast. 38 knots with the flag, it's pretty good. And, almost 40, I think, with the speed boost active. Her torpedoes aren't bad. They have a decent range, 6.4 kilometers. Not long enough to stealth torp, but still definitely useful. And one thing that's really nice about them is their high speed, 64 knots. It's also nice that you have quad launchers instead of triple launchers, so you put more torpedoes into the water. They reload reasonably fast, 88 seconds, and the only kind of real downside about them is they only do about 12,000 damage, which isn't very good. Now, the guns on the Farragut have a pretty good range, but their real strength is the rate of fire. 3.6 second reload time and 12-second traverse time is really, really good. So basically, if you get close enough to score hits, she can do a hell of a lot of damage. And what that means is that you can contest capture points with the Farragut really, really well, because she's fast enough to get there early, she's stealthy enough to be hard to see as she gets to the cap points, and more importantly, in that close range fight that ensues, her 5 guns are the best in the game at her tier in that sort of short range gunfight that you get on a capture point. With their really high rate of fire, their good traverse speed, they're really, really, really damaging, even though each individual shell is not that powerful. And unlike the Russian or the Japanese destroyer, she can fire 8 torpedoes instead of 6, which, even though torpedoes aren't very useful against destroyers most of the time, with the Farragut you're at least putting more torpedoes out there. Makes it a little bit more difficult to avoid. Lets you cover a little bit of a larger area, and like I said, the torpedoes are fast and they have pretty decent range. So that makes the Farragut just really, really, really good at taking capture points. And that's really the main role of a destroyer in ranked battles. So guys, that's way, way, way enough talk in the port. It's time to take this thing into battle and see what she can do. Alright guys, so here we are in battle, the Tier 6 Farragut. And if we take a look at the team panels, we can see that our team has 1 battleship, Warspite. We have 1 Cleveland-class cruiser, 2 Nuremberg-class cruisers, 1 Farragut-class destroyer, 2 Mutsuki-class destroyers, to the enemy team, who have 1 New Mexico-class battleship, 3 Nuremberg-class cruisers, 2 Mutsuki-class destroyers, and an Ognavoid-class destroyer. So, pretty even matchmaking, which is good, because it should be. Now, as you can see in chat here, our team has decided they're going to push the A point, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to go after the B point. Now, the reason why I do this is in capture point mode, you never want to leave a capture point completely uncontested. And the reason for that is, if it's uncontested, 1 player on the enemy team can sail right in and capture it. And in ranked, holding 1 capture point unopposed, even for just a couple of minutes, tips the favor of winning in the favor of whichever team holds that uncontested point by a huge margin. So I'm coming over to make sure the enemy team doesn't get B for free. Now what I'm doing right here is I'm prepared for some enemy destroyer to round the point of that island. So I actually send my torpedoes around that island right there, just in case the Ognivoy or the Mutsuki comes running around the corner. Maybe they'll get a nice torpedo surprise. So that's my idea right there. But it looks like we're home free. If a destroyer was coming over here, I think they already would have engaged me by now. And since that hasn't happened, I'm pretty sure that I'm unopposed in this capture point. And that makes me really, really happy, because it tells me right off that the enemy doesn't know how to deploy. And that's good. So what I'm doing right now is I'm trying to not get too close to the enemy in case they have a destroyer in the middle. But I do kind of want to start heading that way, because as soon as I capture this point, I want to transition to attacking these guys in the flank and trying to harass. I am going to leave this on fixed camera mode, because I want you guys to be able to see where I'm looking, kind of help see where I'm thinking. Now right here, we detect the Ognivoy, and by we I mean my team, not me. The Ognivoy is nowhere near me, and that's good. He's really the only destroyer threat on the enemy team. I'm really not concerned about Mutsukis. In fact, I would love for them to come over and fight me. So I decide to hit my engine boost. I want to close in with these enemy destroyers. And there, a Mutsuki is spotted on really low health, and I immediately start to engage. He's pretty close to me. He should be a pretty easy shot once I kind of get the range. And there we go, we're starting to score hits. Our Cleveland polishes him off. See, the other Mutsuki on low health is also coming into the fray, so I want to start engaging that Mutsuki immediately as well. I get a couple of hits on him, but the rest of my shots are blocked by the island. And right here, our battleship just wrote in chat, I am a massive idiot, or I am an idiot. I didn't see what he did in the time, but he felt a lot of responsibility for making a bad play and potentially losing us this match. So I'm not sure what he did, but he felt really bad about it. Now things are not going well for our team. We've lost 2 of our Nürnbergs, and all we've taken out are the 2 Mutsukis. I actually popped smoke to shoot at that Ognivoy, but the destroyer behind me disengages and loses sight of him. So instead I end up smoke and shooting at the Nürnberg, but he's right on the edge of my range, and with his engines knocked out, I'm having a very hard time ranging him. So my fire is really ineffective, but I do manage to score a couple of hits, and we managed to secure the kill on the enemy Nürnberg. So that's good. Kill number 1. Now I haven't done a lot of damage, but I have had an impact on the battle by capturing that point, and by sort of, a little impact by finishing off that Nürnberg, and a little bit of impact by sort of helping chase away the enemy destroyers. Now at this point in time, I hadn't realized that our team was losing its cruisers so fast, and I hadn't realized how much trouble our Warspite was in. So I was pretty aggressively chasing this enemy Ognivoy right now, not realizing that the battle was much closer than I was thinking. I was seeing the point score, with our team ahead by a massive margin in points, and I was thinking, oh yeah, we're winning this pretty easily. So we're dogfighting an Ognivoy at about 6 kilometer range, and he hasn't really done hardly any damage to me, and I've done about, maybe 8,000 or 9,000 damage to him. So you can see that the guns on the Farragut, once you get within 6 or 7 kilometers, they're pretty effective. I choose to send my torpedoes right there, just in case the Ognivoy tries to kind of double around in close range with me. I do want to have those torpedoes out there as a deterrent. We're continuing to hit the Ognivoy, doing a lot of damage to him, and at this point he turns away, trying to disengage and escape. But I really don't want to let that happen. It's right around here I fire a salvo. I assume that I've got the Ognivoy dead, and I look away, but my shots actually miss. So I turn, I fire one more salvo, and then I think if I miss or not, it doesn't matter. My fire's going to kill him. And you can see my fires do take the Ognivoy out. Actually, I think I killed him with a shell. Never mind. I thought the fire killed him. But anyway, I take a couple of pot shots at that enemy Nürnberg down there, thinking about chasing him to finish him off. But then I realized just how dire straits this match is for my team. And I realized I can't afford to chase the enemy like that. I need to stay alive. I'm thinking right now, if me and this Cleveland can stay alive and just kite, we might be able to win this match on points. But the Cleveland is engaging the enemy Nuremberg and is detected and is taking a lot of fire back from that enemy Nuremberg and also from the enemy New Mexico. So our Cleveland is in trouble, and I'm trying to get the Cleveland to disengage and stay alive. But I don't know if he's going to be able to do it. So right about now, I started thinking, how can I kill a Nuremberg in the open water with a Farragut? It's going to have to be a torpedo kill, because a 4,000 health Nuremberg is not going to kill a half health. A 4,000 health Farragut is not going to be able to kill a half health Nuremberg in a gun duel. And what I'm thinking is that the Nuremberg is going to sail north through A, then he's going to come around the island and he's going to turn right and head towards me and head towards the Cleveland. And I'm thinking, I can use this island to close the range to where I'm close enough to torpedo. And right here I get spotted. Just a second here, my detection is going to go off. There we go, we know the Nuremberg's capped A. There I am, I'm detected, and I lock onto the Nuremberg and I fire my torpedoes. And I fire my torpedoes assuming that he's going to turn away. I hit my engine boost to help just get my ship as fast as I can away from this guy. And as soon as my smoke screen is up, I light my smoke screen to break line of sight with this Nuremberg. And I'm doing just enough maneuvering so that I stay hidden by my smoke, but that I'm not in a straight line. Now, my Cleveland is spotting this Nuremberg for me, so I'm able to fire on him from stealth. And I do hit a torpedo, which is really good that I hit the torpedo, because that needed to happen. And I am scoring some gun hits on this Nuremberg and doing a little bit of damage, but look where he's going. Now, he finishes off our Cleveland, but he is not paying attention to where he's going, and he has run himself aground. He's only on 1,200 health. Now, he is at long range, and the Farragut's guns are bad at long range, but they're bad because you need to lead with them a lot. He's a stopped target because he ran aground. I don't need to lead him hardly at all. He now has made himself an extremely easy kill, and we're able to gun him down. He does do a lot of damage to me and sets me on fire right with his parting shot. But now I'm alone against the enemy Nuremberg and the enemy New Mexico. Now I do get a little bit dickish here in chat and then run into an island. So that's bad. But I did know that this Nuremberg was on really low health because I was engaging him before. And I also know that he's going to think, since I'm in a low health destroyer and I'm outnumbered, he's going to think that I'm not going to engage him. Now, to my credit, I am apologizing to my team right now for being a dick in chat. But anyway, back to the battle. I know what this Nuremberg is thinking. He's thinking, I'm in a cruiser, cruisers counter destroyers. If that Farragut chooses to pick a gunfight with me, I'll kill him with impunity. So I'm pretty sure that's what the Nuremberg's thinking. So I use my high arc guns to fire over the island at him, so that way I can get some shots in without him being able to fire back. Now I know where he is, and I know what he's going to do. He's going to attack. He's going to try and capture this point. He thinks that I'm not going to have the balls to attack a light cruiser with a really low health destroyer. But I want to win this game, and I know that in a head-to-head attack, my two forward guns with their superior rate of fire, I actually can match the firepower of his ship because all his guns are on the stern. And I have a health advantage, and I have the advantage of being able to take the first shot, and I'm a smaller target, and I'm a lot better at dodging. So I actually choose to attack. And you can see he only fired 3 shells at us. He did score some hits, but his hits only did about 400 damage to me, and I was able to kill him. Now, though, I've got a problem. Full health New Mexico. I'm not fighting a one-on-one against a full health New Mexico in a Farragut with only 1,800 health. So I send my torpedoes, even though he's outside of the range. He's coming towards me, so that means by the time my torpedoes complete their run, the New Mexico should be within range. So I am running. But what I realize is that even though the New Mexico is a really slow battleship, I realize that he is going to be able to make it to the B point before we reach 1,000 points. So I can't just run away because the game's not going to end on points before the New Mexico can capture B. And if the New Mexico captures B, I either need to kill him or I need to capture A so that we can gain our own points and finish the cap to 1,000. So what I decide to do is I'm going to double back to A and counter cap. But the problem is, this map's not very big, and the Farragut does have kind of a long spotting range, so I'm going to be taking a very long route. And you can see on the map that where I am right now, if that New Mexico is anywhere in the B point, he'll be able to see me. So I need to pick my course here pretty carefully to make sure that that New Mexico doesn't lay eyes on me. And I also probably don't want to fire at all at this guy. Not with guns, not with torpedoes, nothing. I want him to have no idea where I am and what I'm doing. So like my teammate in the Warspite is saying, I am taking it wide. And I'm even watching the course of the New Mexico to see if he turns. I need to alter my course farther away from him to maintain that distance. So, we're playing it really careful right here. And I even activate my last speed boost to help just keep the range on this guy just that much farther away. So this was a really, really tense game. I mean, when our Cleveland died and it was just me, it was pretty clear that everybody in this match was fairly certain that the enemy team had won. But, you gotta play for everything you've got. This is competitive battles here. You have to go for it 100%. Every time you press battle, 100% of your effort has to be directed towards winning. And if I'm not dead, I can still fight. And that's what we're doing here. And the other thing that you need to do, if you're playing in ranked battles, you need to be playing the objectives. Chasing kills, that's a great way to lose games. Trying too hard to conserve your health, that's a great way to lose. Like, the objectives, only thing that matters. The enemy team, well, if they'd played the objectives in this match, they would have done a lot better. When they let us have when they let us have B uncontested, it gave us like a 400-point advantage, and that advantage, from the first 10 seconds of the match, when the enemy team decided to deploy every single person to A, leave B completely open, that advantage is what I'm using right here to win this match. Because if we didn't have that huge point advantage built up because the enemy left B completely uncontested, I wouldn't be able to counter cap on this New Mexico, because there just wouldn't have been enough time. So I've made it to the A point undetected. The New Mexico now knows where I am. I know roughly where he is, and I know he's not very fast, but he doesn't have to go that far, and I can't really move until I capture this point. And he can kill me with 2 hits, regardless of what ammo type he's using. And right here, I panicked, because I was on half a head going 19 knots, and I thought my client had disconnected. And if that had happened, I would have sailed out of the capture point, and we would have lost. So yeah, that was a panic moment for me, but it's okay, just a little bit of a hiccup. And we're able to keep the ship in the capture point. Now, the match is still not over. As soon as I capture this point, everyone kind of gets all congratulatory again, like we've now immediately won, and nothing could possibly happen. We've had that point happen in this match about 3 times, where each side has thought victory is now assured. And it's swung back and forth. Like, we can lose this battle right now. If that New Mexico turned to the south, which you can see on the map, his last known position, he was heading south. If he headed down around to, like, G5, if I turn towards B, I could run into that New Mexico around an island without knowing he's there. He could kill me. So it's still not over. So right now I'm kind of trying to make up my mind. Do I want to head back towards B in case I do need to try and countercap again? Or do I want to head towards J1 and just hide? And I've kind of figured out that I probably want to head towards J1. So I'm just sort of moving away from where I expect the New Mexico to be. We only need to cap 10 more points, but the battle could still be lost, and I really don't want to lose it at this point. But we've now capped to 1,000. Game is won. So I think you guys would all agree that was one hell of a battle. My hands were shaking right around from about the time I decided to attack that last Nuremberg, right up until the second that battle ended. And then, I'm not gonna lie, I basically jumped up and down and waved my arms like a psychopath, and I ran upstairs to kind of tell people about how epic that was. It was one hell of a match. So, man, I don't have any post-battle results for it, which is a shame. But suffice it to say, I got really good rewards. Also, there wasn't a lot of doubt in anyone's mind what caused our team to be victorious in that match. So, sort of the moral of this story here is that when you're playing a competitive mode, for the most part, when I'm playing random battles, it's everything I got to win is what I'm going to give. But when you're playing a competitive mode like ranked battles or team battles or, when they get some sort of clan wars going here, there's no such thing as good enough. If you have anything left, you have to go for it. The win is all that matters. And the way that you get those wins, it's not by engaging everybody in a head-to-head duel a lot of the time, even in a battleship. A lot of the time, the way you get those wins is you play the objectives. And in these two capture point ranked battles, the single most important deciding factor, in my opinion, is you can never leave a capture point uncontested. Not even for 1 second, that capture point. They all have to be contested, or else you just give the enemy free points, and that is an almost insurmountable advantage. Guys, I really hope you enjoyed that battle. Tell you what, I haven't had a battle that was that tense in months. I haven't had my hands shaking or my heart racing in a World of Warships match. I'm even kind of shivering right now just thinking about it. That was, it was a nail biter. I can't even believe how close that battle was. Just well played to everyone in that match. It was incredibly fun. These are the moments that we long for when we're playing online games. So guys, I hope you enjoyed that battle. I hope you'll stick around for when I ever actually make stuff. So yeah, guys, just remember, you can never have enough big guns.